And we're back on Flash.
No substance.
So today's top 5 is the top 5 Fast and the Furious movies. Now, even though there's 8 of them and we could actually rank them, who wants to do that? Let's just give you the top 5 because 3 of them suck.
3 of them suck.
3 of them suck. So, Terrence, go first.
All right, this is such an easy list because honestly, 3 suck. I mean, 3 of them suck, and 3 was one of the ones that sucked. So my number, and this is probably everybody.
You don't hate Tokyo Drift.
There you go. My number 5, and this is gonna be a shocker to people.
All right.
It's Fast and the Furious. The first one? The first one. Okay. I mean, look, it set everything up, but at heart, it was just a racing movie. And unfortunately, the reason why this franchise has continued so much is because they got away from that aspect. They got away from it in 2. They kind of went back to it in 3, but then they just changed it up and did a different aspect of racing. And then 4 through 8, we barely raced. They just kind of make a mention to it. So unfortunately, number 1 was my number 5 because it dealt with racing, but it set up the franchise. And it was a really good movie because it was a movie of that particular time. Everybody was into modding their cars and street racing and stuff like that. I'm sure there was a lot of tickets given and a lot of people with a lot of bad blonde hair like Paul Walker had in that movie.
and bald Latin dudes with tank tops and
yeah, exactly.
big old crosses.
So that's my number 5. I mean, but it did establish everybody's career. So I do love that. I have an affinity for that movie. So number 4. Number 4 is gonna be
Part 4.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
That is better than the first one. Unfortunately, it's better than the first one. Is it because it didn't feature Dom? No. It is because I like that version of Tyrese.
Because he wasn't a wisecrack.
Because I hate the comedian Tyrese. I hate I hate the comic relief Tyrese. But I liked when he was focused. Unfortunately he was the Dom character in that movie. He was a serious, in a bit of a wise ass way, but kind of serious and focused. He was gangster, and he ain't been gangster in none of these movies since.
And he could drive,
and
without,
he could drive
without being scared. He was always confident behind the wheel.
He's doing the scared black man stuff that Kevin Hart does now. Which Fast and Furious 9 is probably gonna have Kevin Hart added to the team.
And his name will be Leo Getz.
But anyway, I like Tyrese in that movie, and I think that movie, for me, for what it was, and having to deal with the fact that they didn't have Dom, they did a really good job, and it was an exciting movie. I mean, him and Paul Walker doing all this stuff and driving and really introducing more action outside of the cars. That's what they did in that movie.
Just 2 words is Eva Mendes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Number 3 Number 3 is gonna be Fast 6.
Fast 6, nice.
Fast 6 is gonna be, I love the plane scene, but at that point with Fast 6, we've seen so many different things, and Fast 6 was the beginning of where they're trying to do ridiculous stuff.
I wouldn't agree with that, but okay.
Fast 5 was the ridiculous. But the ridiculous stuff they did in Fast 5 was better than the ridiculous stuff they did in Fast 6.
I'll disagree with that too.
But Fast 6, I think that's when we really had too many members of the team. Even though they had their parts, I think the team blew up too much by then. And that's the reason why it's only my number 3. I do like them with the team because it's almost kind of Mission Impossible-ish. But like I said, I think they had done a lot of things but in that particular movie. But I still better than 2 and 1. Okay. So that's why it's my number 3.
Number 2.
Fast 4.
Fast 4.
Fast 4. I like the whole storyline with Fast 4 and the simple fact that it gave a resurgence to the Fast and Furious franchise. One that we thought was like, this is gonna be like
it says it's the poster, the tagline is new model, same parts.
Exactly. And then they did away with, well, I mean, they gave him a good reason to go with the whole Letty thing and, her, dying and stuff like that. So, and the whole, I like the racing, across the border and the tunnel. That was a really good setup. It still involved real cars and racing, and it didn't get outlandish. I mean, if you want to think of the tunnels, but they probably do that in Mexico. That's probably how they smuggle drugs here. Through racing cars, in tunnels, through Mexico. You afraid of El Chapo too?
he ain't chopping me up.
Number 1. All right, number 1 is gotta be Fast 5. Look, the bank scene was the greatest thing ever. That also one had the train scene too, right? When they had to jump the car, that was amazing. I loved that scene so much. When they got the train and they were coming to the cliff and they had to jump out the car, that scene is almost as great as the bank scene, and as unrealistic as the bank scene is. It was still fun as shit. It was so crazy. crazy and fun, and that's when we got introduced to The Rock, man.
All day.
And has him as the, as a villain, as a good guy, but as the one trying to track them down, trying to get them caught. It was a really cool way for them to really bring a new bit of spice to this franchise.
I agree 100%. My number 5 is Fast Forward, and for everything that you said, especially they started with the whole racing thing, not racing thing, but the speed and the cars and all that when they were going into the tunnels. It was freaking, it was awesome, and it was good to see Toretto back. He missed in 3, and the end of 3 had him for that brief.
That is because they had to tie it in somehow.
Yeah, so
Bow Wow wasn't enough. Why have we not brought Bow Wow back to the franchise? Bow Wow complained, man.
But
they keep bringing Ludacris back. Complain, man.
Part 4 was good. The ending to Part 4 was actually one of my favorite things. Also, is when they're on the bus and Jordana Brewster's on one side.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's like
awesome
one of my.
That was an awesome scene. I thought it was great. Number 4 is Fast 6 also, and dude, the airplane scene just alone, it was awesome. But
actually, my number 4 was Too Fast, Too Furious.
Luke Evans, man. Luke Evans was awesome as a villain in that movie, and the way he drove that freaking that muscle car with all of that it was all in steel.
The car with the thing with the wheels,
the baby Batmobile.
Yeah,
the baby it came in black too, Bruce. The baby Batmobile, but it was awesome, man. He drove the hell out of that thing. And he was a great villain, and the thing with Statham at the end was an awesome. It was a
great way to tie the stupid Tokyo Drift film.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was great. My number 3 is The Fast and the Furious, which was basically Point Break on wheels.
It was Point Break on wheels.
And
it was exactly Point Break on wheels.
And also, just my love for Civics. My love for the Civics. I love those Civics.
How much money did Honda make after that movie came out?
Exactly. And I don't know why freaking Brian is so infatuated with Supras. I'm just not a Supra fan.
Because at the time for modding Supra, that was the car to have.
I just could never get into the Supras, but those freaking black Civics that they were using to steal, it was just amazing. And like you said, it introduced the character, started it all. Rob Cohen, who actually directed it, went on to take Vin away from the franchise to do Triple X. That's why you didn't have them in Too Fast, Too Furious, but whatever. All right, number 2, Furious 7, flat out, all because of the heart behind it.
Not my favorite movie. Unfortunately, it's not my favorite movie.
The skyscraper jump from from skyscraper to skyscraper was an amazing scene. It was just, the action was just nonstop on it. The fight scenes with Statham and The Rock in the beginning of the movie. Now there's some things that I didn't like about it, like you're getting the God's eye to track Deckard Shaw, but Deckard Shaw's right there. That I didn't get.
Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah, we need to save Ramsey and get the God's eye to find Deckard. Dom, he's behind you. All right. Good job, guys. Good job. Yeah. And we did all that without the help of the God's eye. All right. One thing I never understood though: how do you go from street racer to outsmarting military, heavily educated and trained military officials?
Wasn't Ludacris like a hustler, like in the street? Like, how's he a tech guru now?
Exactly. Hey, is that Hallmark Institute for Technology? All right. Number 1, Fast 5, man. Come on, Fast 5, all day. The beginning tied perfectly to 4. It basically picked up right where 4 left off. It was just amazing. But you introduced The Rock. It had just as much of great scenes in it as far as the sequences of the cars and all that great action and all that. The injection of The Rock, but also some of the things that the one thing I did not like about it is they're in Brazil.
I like
talking trash. Then the dude goes and he freaking tells Dom he wants to race basically for pinks. Perfect opportunity to show the damn race. Instead, they do a cutaway scene and they show Dom driving the car he won into the warehouse.
Because at that point,
I hated that.
They were getting away from racing.
I hated that anyway.
Getting away from racing.
And the second thing I didn't like it, which is everybody saying, well, damn, you got all these things you didn't like.
Yeah, how's your number 1?
It's my number 1 because it's just flat out beast, man. And the freaking safe scene alone has me freaking 1. But the one thing that I did not like is, I'm sorry, but The Rock beat the shit out of Dom Toretto. Exactly.
You're gonna say he won?
And he's
gonna say Vin Diesel can beat The Rock?
He went through all this to say, "I'll ride with you." Yeah.
Because I will jazz. I ain't gonna worry about it. I mean, come on, that was Roadblock, man. I don't care. I can't beat Roadblock.
I thought it was freaking awesome.
What was his character from Pitch Dark or Pitch Perfect? Pitch Black.
That's a new one. Pitch Perfect Dark.
Pitch Black.
Pitch Perfect Dark.
Riddick can beat Roadblock? Come on.
Well, yeah.
Come on, man.
Just fight him during the day.
Oh.
You can't see.
Hell, fight him at night. He's black.
Either way, despite all the things I just said, Fast 5 is my absolute favorite. It is just the perfect tie from 4 to 5, and then the action sequence and everything was awesome. Great soundtrack too. It had a freaking amazing soundtrack.
It did. You know what I just thought about right now? We did a top 5 crossover films. How come we didn't do Transformers, Fast and the Furious? That just makes so much sense, and I just thought about it right now, and I was like, why did we not do that?
Oh, how about this? How about if you want to bring back somebody from the dead using this CGI? Why don't we bring back Steve McQueen? In Fast and the Furious 9.
That's a lot of de-aging, sir. That's a lot of de-aging.
Man.
How about we just give Kurt Russell the eye patch back?
Hey, let us know your ranking of the Fast and the Furious films.
And comments below. Yeah, tell us if you put number 3 in your top 5, and then I will go to your house and scream at you because the number 3 does not need to be in.
But you know what? But the drifting was cool. And
it was cool if it had been its own movie.
If you go Fast and the Furious and they're still street racing and all that stuff, then you go to from Too Fast and then they're the same thing. They're racing in Miami or wherever they're at, right? And then you go into Tokyo Drift. They're still racing.
Yeah, but it became like a Japanese high school film about drifting. It wasn't even about the franchise anymore.
Big making car.
And I know drifting was a big thing. It was a real big thing it was like the next evolution of racing at that particular point in time because it was so popular in Japan and they were really trying to popularize it here. So I get why they did it.
Those scenes, the drift scenes. I guess this is considered an honorable mention of number 6. I guess I don't know.
How's Tokyo Drift on an honorable anything?
I don't know, but
Bow Wow, get yourself back in this franchise. I'm just saying.
Okay, fine. If we can't have Bow Wow, just give me the Hulk van because that shit was awesome. But the drift scene, and they're going through the crowd, and the crowd opens up, and it's an aerial shot, and that's an awesome scene.
Yeah.
So, Tokyo Drift, we're gonna do it. Now, I put a
You don't hate Tokyo.
We're gonna do it, You Don't Hate Tokyo Drift. We're gonna do it.
We're so gonna lose.
Terrence, take us home.
Like you said before, make sure you put your top 5 Fast and the Furious movies in the comments below. Let us know the order that you guys have them in because I can't see. What were we missing? We're missing 3. We're missing 8. Good luck putting those in top 5. But if you do,
I was missing Too Fast and Furious.
You were stupid. Put in your top 5 in the list below. We love to read your comments and love to see what you guys' top 5s look like. But as always, make sure you guys like so that way we know what we're doing is something that you guys agree with, and subscribe so that way you know about all the stuff that we do because we do quite a bit on the channel here for you guys.
We recently did the You Don't Hate for Judge Dredd, and we were wondering about what the next You Don't Hate title was going to be. I put it out there on Twitter, and you guys voted for Spider-Man 3. And that will be coming. But we really want to do Tokyo Drift real quick because it's got to happen. So Tokyo Drift will be the next You Don't Hate, followed by Spider-Man 3. And after that, it's potentially going to be Independence Day 2. That was another close one. So look for that'll be coming out.
You're going to see this face a lot.
Oh, man. Shout out to our director Aspen, who is not here with us tonight. She's sick at home, but she's getting a lot of rest, so she will be back with us next week. So Aspen, Daddy loves you. For Aspen at home, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And that was a good.
Yeah.
Oh. Ash! Ash!
All right, we go.
God damn it! The Boom Boom Room.
God damn it.
Where dogs bark.